Welcome to the Town Council Chambers, November 4, 2013, 7 p.m. Agenda item number 1. Please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. Agenda item number 2, roll call, please.
Present.
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 Excused.
Councilor Moriarty?
Present.
Councilor Nicola?
Present.
Councilor Peliquin?
Present.
And Councilor Vandal.
Present.
Thank you. Agenda item number 3, consider and accept the Town Council meeting minutes of Monday, October 21st, 2013. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion, corrections? Councilor Manna.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Through you, I would like there to be a correction in the Town Council's forum where I stated that at Council's forum, I asked if there was a sort of a protocol for leaf pickup, and it's stated here in the minutes that it's disposing of trash. So if that could be corrected?
What page is that on?
It's on page 5, Council's forum.
So corrected. Anything else? Any other councilors? Seeing none, raise of hands will do. No opposed. Thank you. Agenda item number 4, subcommittee reports, general government. Councilor Nicola.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I don't have any meeting minutes. There was no meeting recently, but I do have a meeting scheduled this Thursday, November 7th, 7 p.m. in the Rice Conference Room. This meeting will, the agenda includes the signed bylaws, the proposed recommendations from the Bylaw Review Committee, and a couple of appointments. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. B, DPW, Councilor Vandal.
Mr. Chairman, the meeting of the DPW Subcommittee was held Wednesday, October 30th, 2013, at 7 p.m. in the Rice Conference Room. The meeting was called to order by myself, Chairman. In attendance, council members, myself, Chairman, Amelia Peliquin, and Esteban Carrasco, Jr. Others present, Heather Blakely, DPW Director, Christopher Clark, Town Manager Kristen Thomas, Harold Dix, Steve Campbell, Mary Ann Campbell, Bert Jakes, Kaylin LaPlante, Jason Langoni, and Don Flynn. Excuse Mark Moran. Number 1, vote to approve FY 2013-2014 agreement between the Town of Southbridge and Cargill De-icing Technology, effective immediately through June 30th, 2014. A motion was made by Councilor Peliquin, seconded by Councilor Carrasco, that we vote to approve FY 2013-2014 agreement between the Town of Southbridge and Cargill De-icing Technology, effective immediately through June 30th, 2014, for treated sodium chloride road salt in the amount of $72.97 a ton, for a minimum of 1,275 tons, for a total of $93,036.75, and submit to council for ratification. There was some discussion. All in favor by show of hands, motion carries. Agenda item number 2, vote to approve FY 2013-2014 annual snowplow removal contractors, see list of vendors attached, and submit to council for ratification. A motion was made by Councilor Peliquin, seconded by Councilor Carrasco, that we vote to approve FY 2013-2014 annual snowplow removal contractors, see list of vendors attached, and submit to council for ratification. Ms. Blakely explained the snowplow agreement. All in favor, show of hands. Agenda item number 3, vote to approve the agreement between the Town of Southbridge and Permaline Corporation of New England, effective November 4, 2013 through June 30, 2014, in an amount not to exceed $22,000, to furnish the town with signs, posts, rain gear, traffic barrels, and paint, and submit to council for ratification. A motion was made by Council Peliquin, seconded by Council Carrasco, to vote to approve the agreement between the town of Southbridge and Permaline Corporation of New England, effective November 4, 2013 through June 30, 2014, in an amount not to exceed $22,000, to furnish the town with signs, posts, rain gear, traffic barrels, paint, and submit to council for ratification. Ms. Blakely, the agreement between Town of Southbridge and Permaline Corporation. She stated that this was not something new. We have done business with them before. All in favor, by show of hands, motion carries. Vote to approve the agreement between the Town of Southbridge and Place Motors, effective November 4, 2013 through June 30, 2014, in an amount not to exceed $24,000, to perform all services and furnish the town with vehicle parts and accessories, and submit to council for ratification. A motion was made by Council Peliquin, seconded by Council Carrasco, to vote to approve the agreement between the Town of Southbridge and Place Motors, effective November 4, 2013 through June 30, 2014, in an amount not to exceed $24,000, to perform all services and furnish the town with vehicle parts and accessories, and submit to council for ratification. Ms. Blakely explained that this was a similar situation as item 3. This is another good service. This is already out of a budget item. They are the Ford parts supplier in the area. She further stated that we do use a lot of parts. All in favor, and show of hands, motion carries. Vote to approve the proposal from Stantec Engineering to provide engineering and design services for the upgrade of the electric service at the wastewater treatment plant in the amount of $19,100, and submit to council for ratification. A motion was made by Council Peliquin, seconded by Council Carrasco, to vote to approve the proposal from Stantec Engineering to provide engineering and design services for the upgrade of the electric service at the wastewater treatment plant in the amount of $19,100, and submit to council for ratification. Ms. Blakely explained the bidding process for engineering and design services for the upgrade at the wastewater treatment plant. In reviewing the current service, the transformers are all the original transformers that were original to the plant, which needs to be upgraded very quickly. This item is part of the capital budget. All in favor, by show of hands, motion carried. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman. No,
Council,
no, I
you
don't.
have one more page.
One more page, you're right, thank you. Vote to confirm the town manager's signature for application of the stormwater management grant through the CIC grant application, and submit to council for ratifications. A motion was made by Councilor Carrasco, seconded by Councilor Peliquin, to vote to confirm the town manager's signature for application of a stormwater management grant through the CIC grant application, and submit to council for ratification. Ms. Blakely stated that we still want to be part of this stormwater grant. We just joined last year. This is the next step for grant money. She further explained that this is not construction money. It is for maintenance and monitoring, and it is in compliance with the MS4 permits. All in favor, by show of hand, motion carried. Number 7, discuss the draft letter of understanding for Maggie Lane subdivision. Mr. Clark opened up the discussion on the Maggie Lane subdivision, going through the process, and where we are so far. Mrs. Blakely elaborated on the process and discussed the problem we have had thus far. Some of the community members from Maggie Lane voiced their concerns, and after lengthy discussion, it was decided that we should discuss this at the next DPW meeting and move forward on this issue to try to get it resolved in the most expeditious way possible. A motion was made by Councilor Carrasco, seconded by Councilor Peliquin, that we vote to adjourn the meeting of the DPW Subcommittee October 30th, 2013. All in favor, show of hands. The meeting adjourned at 7:45 p.m. Respectfully submitted, Julianne Collins, Recording Secretary. Date, October 31st. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That's all I have now.
Thank you very much, Council. See Education Human Services, Council Marcucci's excused. I will read the minutes. A joint meeting of EHS Subcommittee and School Committee was held on Tuesday, October 29, 2013, in the Council's chambers. In attendance were Councilors Marcucci, Clements, Manna, citizen members Leanne Pate and Martina Shea. Also, councilors present were Langevin, Vandal, Carrasco, Nicola, Peliquin. School committee members Lauren McLaughlin, Joe Condon, Kara Donovan, Aaron Quinney, Town Manager Clark, Buzz Nemberkow. Excuse me for butchering that. I apologize. Karen Sheridan, Karen Hinois, Melinda Ernest Fournier, and Dave Williams. Council Marcucci called the meeting to order at 6 p.m. Chairwoman Marcucci thanked everyone for coming and said she wants the school committee to meet with the town council more often. She would like to see everyone work together. Agenda item number 1, discussion of health insurance options for the school department. The superintendent said that the reviewing of the school financial situations, teachers' retention, and recruitment new teachers, several items came to light. One is that our teacher salaries are $5,000 lower than the surrounding communities. 2 is that our health insurance split is the lowest in the area, 50-50. The superintendent said that when he is hiring new teachers or trying to retain teachers, he is running into these obstacles. Mr. Clark explained Statute 32B, the 50-50 split in health care with active and inactive employees. Mr. Clark said that for every 10% shift, it would increase approximately $350,000 to $450,000. He explained our plan in the GIC plan and what the ramifications of switching would be. Discussion was held on ways to increase our current health care percentage. Agenda item number 2, discussion the process to temporarily fill the vacancy on the school committee until 2014 election. Ms. Clark said that under the charter, we have 60 days to fill the vacancy by a mutual vote of the town council and school committee. Lauren McLaughlin said the position has not been advertised. The superintendent said he would like to letter of intent in the background information sent to his office and have the school committee and town council interview the candidates to make a decision. November 22nd will be the deadline for submissions of letters of intent. Both the town council and school committees will announce this date at their own regular meetings. A special meeting will be held on December 3rd for the election of the candidate. A motion was adjourned, made by Council Mann, second by Council Clements. Vote by show of hands, all in favor, 5-0. Council Marcucci adjourned the meeting at 7:25. Respectfully submitted, Evelyn Rivera, and as of now, she does not have another meeting scheduled. Moving on to D, Planning and Development, Councilor Clements.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I
Thank
do
you.
not have any minutes for this evening, and there is no meeting scheduled at this point.
Thank you very much. E, Protection Person and Property, Councilor Moriarty.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. A meeting of the Protection of Persons and Property Subcommittee was held on Thursday, October 17th, 2013, in the George Parent Conference Room. In attendance were myself, Councilor Nicola, and citizen members Jack Jovan and Richard Nash. Also in attendance were Councilor Peliquin, Town Manager Clark, Police Chief Charette, Estelle and Roger Cowett, Tammy Chartran, Amber Chartran, and Maria Torres. Councilor Carrasco was excused. I called the meeting to order at 7:10 p.m. Agenda item number 1 was to review administrative responses to the police audit management study. I noted that this agenda item was being postponed due to conflict with other councilors who wanted to be present, and it has been rescheduled to Tuesday, November 19th, 2013. Agenda item number 2 was general discussion regarding animal control operations for the future. Chief Charette said the dynamics of the animal control officer have changed. There is more work for the ACO, and there are more billing issues. The animal shelter in town needs a lot of work, and Chief Charette said he would like to see something done. Mr. Clark stated he has spoken to the new incoming health director, and they will probably be shifting the ACO over to that department, away from the police department. Chief Charette said that due to the calls that have been made and the cards sent to dog owners, the number of unlicensed dogs has been greatly reduced. Evelyn Rivera from the town clerk's office stated that that veterinarians only send rabies notifications, not when a pet passes away. Also, that the census does not always allow for the deletion of pets from the system unless the person specifies the name of the dog that passed away. A citizen spoke to the committee on an issue she was having with the Webster Animal Control Officer. Chief Charette is checking into the problem and will try to help. A motion to adjourn was made by Jack Joban and seconded by Rich Nash. Vote by show of hands, all in favor, 4-0. The meeting adjourned at 7:50 p.m. Respectfully submitted, Evelyn Rivera, recording clerk. There are two upcoming meetings of the Protections of Persons and Property Subcommittee. The first is tomorrow night, Tuesday, November 5th, at 6 p.m. Upstairs here in the George Parent Conference Room, and that is regarding solely the demolition of 130 Everett Street, one of the eyesores in town. The other is, as previously mentioned, November 19th, also a Tuesday at 7 p.m., and that will be dealing with the recommendations from the police department regarding that management study on the police department. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Council. Agenda item number 5, Chairman's announcements. I just have a few this evening. First of all, I want to thank the police and fire department for participating in the Halloween parade down Main Street, and also kudos. I was out and about. The police, as always, did a very good job monitoring the streets out there for safety. So I want to thank them personally. And number 2 is, as you heard in the announcements on the EH subcommittee, the town is now seeking to fill one vacancy on the Southbridge School Committee. The individual selected will serve until the town election on June 2014. Any residents who would be interested in serving in the school committee shall submit a letter of intent of why you want to run for the school committee position. Send it to Superintendent's Schools, Town Hall, 25 Cole Avenue, Southbridge, Mass. 01550. And the deadline is Friday, November 22nd at noon for all the letter of intents. Applications will be invited to attend a joint meeting with the Southbridge School Committee and the Southbridge Town Council, and at that time, they'll be able to make a brief presentation and concerns of their candidacy, and then we, as a council and school committee, we will have a joint vote to select this position filled until the June election. I haven't been able to see it, but do you have that on the scroll yet?
Not sure. I'll double check.
Can we just, I know we said we were going to do that, if we can make sure on that. And then also, the end of this week, again, we're coming into Veterans Day, and as always, Mike Trombley does a great job at this Charlton Street School Veterans Day program. They're having students grades 1 through 5 will be performing to honor our veterans. This will be at the Charlton Street School Gymnasium. The time is approximately 9 o'clock till 10:15. If anyone has any interest and wants to pay respects to our veterans, please attend. And I do also know, which is not here, but the Harrington Hospital with Southbridge Hotel Conference Center has been doing a joint venture for probably about 4 years now. So proceeding afterwards, they do have something at the Southbridge Hotel and Southbridge Hotel Conference Center. They usually have a nice luncheon there, but that was by invitation, and Mike Trombley usually goes through his agencies to make sure. So there was invitations sent out for that event, but we are trying to expand that program more and more every year. So if you have any questions, just please contact Mike Trombley on this. And that concludes my announcements tonight. Councilman, you had something?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair, through you. I'm very concerned about the way the ad was put in the paper regarding to fill the school committee vacancy. It states that residents who would be interested in serving on the school committee should submit a letter of application, including experience, qualifications, and resumes to the superintendent of the schools. It was, to my understanding, at the EHS subcommittee meeting and the school committee meeting, the joint, and it states right in the minute, it says letter of intent. And the only qualifications to serve on a school committee is that you have to be a registered voter of Southbridge. So this ad is very, very misleading. And I've also gotten some phone calls regarding the superintendent taking the applications. People feel that this should be a neutral position, and they're requesting that the town clerk actually get the letters of intent and not the superintendent. So that's something that should be thought of, and I would hope that this ad in the paper would get rectified. Thank you.
Thank you. Hopefully, the Southbridge News can definitely correct that. That's definitely, you're absolutely correct. That's what was the conversation. It shouldn't be an application. It should be, like you said, a letter of intent. As far as the superintendent, I do agree, but that's what we did say at the meeting, and no one really opposed to it at that point in time. I do believe it should be more on neutral grounds. If Mrs. Clark, you can look into that matter, and we can hopefully correct that. I wholeheartedly agree with you on that. So he will take care of that, look into it, and we'll proceed forward. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay. Moving forward. Number 6, Town Manager's announcements. Mr. Clark?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I do have several announcements this evening, and just wanted to go through those. We have received some material from, it's actually the Great American Smokeout. Each year on the third Thursday of November, the American Cancer Society marks the Great American Smokeout. So just as a note, we did receive some material. It does say that even for one day, that can get a smoker on the right step towards a healthier life. In terms of, and I know we had at one of the meetings some information on the Tri-Town domestic violence, and just wanted to, we did receive a press release from Margot Chevers that Hollywood, I'm just going to read it, Hollywood is coming to Sturbridge. Brought to you by the Tri-Town Domestic Violence Task Force. One of the actors from the 5th season of The Sopranos is coming to Tantasco High School on November 6th. Lisa Regina, playing a recurring role on Bravo's hit TV show where she met and fell in love with one of the celebrity characters. They got engaged, which should lead to a happy ending. Unfortunately, it was an abusive relationship which Lisa escaped from. She will share her journey from being an abused woman to a healing through the power of writing. Her program is entitled A Right to Heal, powerful and moving presentation of the journey of one woman through the experience of domestic violence. This is free. They are requesting donations to be appreciated. The event to all community members in the area, and it starts at 7 p.m. I think it's actually November 6th, so that is just a couple days away here.
Wednesday.
And Lisa has promised to stay after the performance to talk with members of the audience. Information can be found at the Tri-Town Domestic Violence Task Force if you follow the facebook.com groups. Maybe I'll put that up on the scroll so people will have that too. Margot Chevers can be reached at 413-245-1219 or 413-668-6965. Also, just as a update on a couple of items, on Maggie Lane, we had that issue came up at the DPW subcommittee. I thought we had Heather Blakely and myself, the DPW director, had I thought a productive meeting with the engineers affiliated with that project, as well as the bank and the developer, and hopefully we are on a road to resolution of that issue. For council, that will be coming up in the form of a roadway acceptance once we receive the balance of materials from the vendor. Also, there was an issue, I think we put it in the package, as was referenced in the PPP subcommittee meeting, about the issue with the animal control, about a dog potentially being abused. A very, very unfortunate, very tragic circumstance. The dog apparently had a genetic abnormality that created an issue, a significant issue for the dog's well-being. That was looked at by a lieutenant from the state, and was received the assistance from the state in the resolution of that matter. Also, I have two other items included in the weekly reports and the backup information. We have provided a outline of an abandoned and dilapidated properties action plan. We have a cleanup campaign in which we target different sections of town to try to make sure that they stay neat and clean. This year, what we've tried to do is actually target out abandoned and dilapidated houses to see if there was a way to progress in that issue. As we have reported in the past, and certainly coming up on the agenda tomorrow, the cost to demo these buildings is very expensive. So we are attempting to come up with alternatives. And I do have a meeting the balance of this week with the Attorney General's office in terms of they have an abandoned housing initiative in which they will engage with the homeowners of, or the banks that own some of these abandoned houses to see if we can move them along. I believe we have 10 homes on the list, and we are progressing. We have, actually it's November 5th, tomorrow is when we're meeting with them. Some of the properties that we have targeted are 103 Charlton Street, 105 Cross Street, 56 Dennison Lane, 417 Durfee Street, 138 Elm Street, 80 Hamilton, 56 Main, 573 Main Street, 133 West Street, 22 Worcester Street, and 53 Worcester. All folks as part of this program have received a initial letter informing them of a more assertive action taken by the town in regards to remedying the issues that are created by these properties. And we do have several programs that we are going to initiate, one of which being the Attorney General's, in which we are going to attempt to resolve some of these issues. We have a 5-point plan to utilize the Attorney General's initiative as one, work with private interests to work on trying to make sure that we have received some voluntary compliance letters. And then the third one would be we are going to seek court action for certain properties that have vagrancy in them, vagrancy issues. And then we also, as will be discussed tomorrow at subcommittee, we are continuing with our program of demolition. And then we have also commenced foreclosure process on some properties. So we are trying to ramp that up and to make a more solid effort to progressing in a cost-effective manner. Probably one of the most positives of that is the Attorney General's office does that free of charge, so there is no cost to the residents. And lastly, just an item of positive note, a very positive note. I think it was probably about almost 5 years ago that we had reported that there was a issue, or we had received a report from the state that there was an issue with the bridge over 131 over the Quinnebog River. And we had myself and the DPW director had a meeting with the state's representative, and they are committing to replacing that bridge deck, and they will put in, as folks know, when they drive down 131, there's a section of sidewalk that's missing, and quite honestly, it's fairly dangerous. I know during cleanups, I've been out there myself, they will be putting in a sidewalk in that side as part of the project. They will replace the bridge deck. They will add additional sidewalks to go around to West Street, and they will also support the bridge superstructure. So it is going to be a comprehensive area, a comprehensive program, and should go a long way to kind of cleaning up that area and making that area safe. So it will go from basically Pleasant Street down to West Street. They anticipate the designs to be complete within probably about 30 days, And then they have this slated for about a year out, they anticipate, for construction. Probably a year and a half to 2-year construction cycle, so there will be some disruption, as any road work usually generates. But I think in this case, it will be nice to have those issues, which have been on the council's agenda for quite a while. I think at least 2 letters have been sent, 2 or 3, if memory serves, to the state. So it is nice to see that the state is following up and taking corrective action on this. That concludes my report this evening, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Clark. Moving forward to agenda item number 7, swearing in presentations. Just before the meeting started, I was informed that we will be canceling the presentation for tonight. It will be rescheduled at our next meeting due to technical difficulties. So we will move on to agenda item number 8, and citizens forum. If there are any citizens that would like to come up and speak tonight on things that are on the agenda, please state your name and address.
Good evening. My name is Dick Whitney, 5 Pine Ridge Road in Southbridge. Really hadn't intended to come tonight until really today, and I figured it was believe it or not, it was 6 months ago, I think, that I first updated you that there were some exciting plans on a museum project that's been talked about for 15 years. But it's continued along wonderfully, and I just wanted to give you a 6-month update that we're ready to open, believe it or not. We have a soft opening this weekend for the Mass Opticians, who I think I've mentioned before, but they meet once a year in November. This is their 4th year because of the hotel, because of the museum and its potential. They've come here. And also there's a woman who's been of great help, Diane Maddock, who's on our board, and she's helped organize. I have to thank her, and also Donna Silverberg especially, who's my curator. And Donna and I were working on the Southbridge display yesterday. And when I was doing that, I said, I got to update everyone because it's so exciting. So it's 6 months. 2 weeks ago, first of all, in case some of you don't know, the museum will be opening at 12 Crane Street in the complex soon. It won't be there will be no charge. It's sponsored in large part by my company Zeiss, who bought American Optical. And I'm very excited because 2 weeks ago, my new boss, but also the woman in charge of Zeiss, and got me the funding to get going, came here along with somebody from Germany, spent 5 days going through everything. And as a result, not only are they supportive, but they're more supportive and looking to continue, and it's not just, as I immediately thought, a one-shot deal. I really see this as being a continued place. And I listened recently about what Southbridge has to offer. And I'm thinking, you'll see what it has to offer. This is one of these low-hanging fruits that I hear about. Our heritage. And we will be showcasing at this event. Saturday night, we have about over 100 people coming to an event, and it's also going to be, there's a new business that's also opened up next to us called Nana Bees, which is great, and you'll hear about that. But in that area, we're going to have 100 people there. They're probably having 300 to 400 people at the hotel on a 2-day convention. But this Saturday night will be the showcase. They've also been supported and have given us money, the Mass Opticians Group, but they're coming from around the state. I can tell you we have displays in the optical area from around the country, 5 different displays on loan that have never been seen before. But really what I got a kick out of is going through some of the knickknacks that have been donated to me, some of the things from the sesquicentennial and so forth. So I encourage those working on it. I've just been rather busy on this project. But it's coming together, and we also have a place that will be a meeting room. So I'd like to invite those that are working on different projects. There's a potential space to come and meet. So I'm just really excited, but I'm getting a little off track. But as I say, I have support for the fundamental opening of this museum, no charge to anyone. What we will be looking for, and I'm not asking of anything of you tonight, I know people always ask you. I am asking, I hope the town, by the town's people, come to support it. And actually, we will be needing help by way of manning. At the moment, it's going to be open by appointment only, or when we can do it, because we're not getting paid to be there, per se. Certainly, those that have been on it. Although I've been directed that a portion of my job will actually be working on this. So I was delighted to find that out recently. But in any case, it's something that even when I was at a standards meeting in Germany 3 weeks ago, they were all talking about it. So I think maybe people now in the optical community are very well aware of this. But I'd like, as I said before, to be more than just an optical museum, not downplaying that. So I'm just excited by it. And I said when I was looking at this today, saying, wow, you're going to have to see it soon. It's one of those things that have been talked about a long time. So I can understand the skepticism. But I think you'll see that this is something that can take hold and help the community. So I'm not asking anything yet. I do want to thank Donna Silverberg and her husband Pete, Diane Maddock, Alan McKinley, AO Eyewear, Janine McElroy, my co-worker, Luke Gelato, my son-in-law now, he's helped, Gabe and John McCarthy, they've been very helpful. And I'm just looking for this. I think looking forward to seeing it grow and see where it goes. What I'm really excited about is it's also going to be next year, the 100th anniversary of Jacob Edwards Library, involved in that, and it's going to culminate, I hope, in the 200th celebration, and it will be a town museum, not just, I don't mean just. I'm very thankful to my company Zeiss, and I'm very thankful to the mass opticians and to Alan McKinley, and others that have donated. But I'm looking for support down the road. But I just felt I was so excited, I wanted to share it with you. It's been 6 months, and we'll soon be open. So that's kind of the message. And if anyone wants to contact me on how they can help, dickwhitney@charter.net is the preferred way, all one lowercase. My cell phone as well is 774-230-8016. People have asked how to help. Up till now, it's been difficult, but we will need help. So that's my message of, let's celebrate our heritage. So that's where we're at. Any questions?
Any questions, any councilors with any questions?
Thank you.
Mr. Whitney, I just want to personally thank you for giving all your time to the community, and this is definitely a positive step in the community. So you and the committee of people that are helping and being involved in this, I do want to thank you. That's just another positive step, and I do believe it's all going to tie into everything. So again, thank you.
I think it will. And I have to thank the other people. It's not really me. It's these other people that have helped so much. But I look forward to you seeing it. It's going to be fun. So
Thank
come on
you.
down soon.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone else that would like to get up and speak tonight? Anyone else? Seeing none, we will move on to agenda item number 9, vote to ratify the FY 2013-2014 agreement between the town of Southbridge and Cargill De-icing Technology effective immediately through June 30th, 2014 for treated sodium chloride road salt in the amount of $72.97 a ton for a minimum of 1,275 tons for a total of $93,036.75. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion on this? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Counselor Clements?
Yes.
Counselor Langevin?
Yes.
Counselor Manna?
Yes.
Counselor Moriarty?
Yes.
Counselor Nicola?
Yes.
Counselor Peloquin?
Yes.
Counselor Vandal?
Yes.
Counselor Carrasco?
Yes.
8 yes.
Thank you. Motion passes. Agenda item number 10, vote to ratify the FY 2013-2014 annual snowplow removal contractors. See list of vendors attached. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on this? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Counselor Langevin?
Yes.
Counselor Manna?
Yes.
Counselor Moriarty?
Yes.
Counselor Nicola?
Yes.
Counselor Peliquin?
Yes.
Counselor Vandal?
Yes.
Counselor Carrasco?
Yes.
Counselor Clements?
Yes.
8 yes.
Thank you. Motion passes. Moving on to agenda item number 11, vote to ratify the agreement between the Town of Southbridge and Perma Lime Corp. of New England effective November 4, 2013 through June 30, 2014, in the amount not to exceed $22,000 to furnish the town with signs, posts, rain gear, traffic barrels, and paint. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion on this? Councilor Carrasco.
Through you, Mr. Chair. Again, I mentioned this during the subcommittee. I just want to make sure that the public knows that this is part of the fiscal year budget. This is not monies that we're asking for, and I know it's not stated in the motion, so I just want to make sure that we all know that it's part of money that's already been approved.
Thank you, Councilor. Any other discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Counselor Manna?
Yes.
Counselor Moriarty?
Yes.
Counselor Nicola?
Yes.
Counselor Peliquin?
Yes.
Counselor Vandal?
Yes.
Counselor Carrasco?
Yes.
Counselor Clements?
Yes.
Counselor Langevin?
Yes.
8 yes.
Thank you. Agenda item number 12, vote to ratify the agreement between the Town of Southbridge and Place Motive effective November 4, 2013 through June 30, 2014, in the amount not to exceed $24,000 to perform all service and furnish the town with vehicle parts and accessories. I have a motion.
So moved.
Second?
Pardon?
Someone seconded it? Any discussion? Councilor Manna.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, through you. In my DPW, what I got from the DPW for this, it states place motives 24,500, but in our line item number 12 on the agenda, says not to exceed 24,000. So is it not to exceed 24,500, or is it not to exceed 24,000?
I'm not sure.
The contract shows that,
Yeah,
too.
the contract says 24,500.
Right.
Yeah, I think it was just a misprint. I don't really think there's a big issue either way. It has to be under 25,000 for goods and services agreement.
So since the contract reflects 24.5, if we could make that adjustment to reflect what we have in the contract?
That would be great.
So moved.
Amend that?
Motion to
We need
amend.
to amend that motion.
Yep, absolutely. So we have a motion to amend to make it 24,500. And who seconded that? Okay. Any other discussion on that? Seeing none, this is the amended part to make it vote to ratify the agreement with the Town of Southbridge and Place Motive effective November 4, 2013 through June 30, 2014, in the amount not to exceed $24,500 to perform all services furnishes in the town with vehicles and parts accessories. Roll call, please.
Counselor Moriarty?
Yes.
Counselor Nicola?
Yes.
Counselor Peliquin?
Yes.
Counselor Vandal?
Yes.
Counselor Carrasco?
Yes.
Counselor Clements?
Yes.
Counselor Langevin?
Yes.
Counselor Manna?
Yes.
8 yes.
Okay, now we are going to vote on the motion as amended. Would you guys like me to read it again, or are we all set?
As amended.
So I just need a motion.
It's already been made, isn't it?
Yeah. Roll call, please.
Counselor Nicola?
Yes.
Counselor Peliquin?
Yes.
Counselor Vandal?
Yes.
Counselor Carrasco?
Yes.
Counselor Clements?
Yes.
Counselor Langevin?
Yes.
Counselor Manna?
Yes.
Counselor Moriarty?
Yes.
8 yes.
Thank you. Motion passes. Agenda item number 13, vote to ratify the proposal for Stantec Engineer to provide engineering and design services for for the upgrade of the electrical services at the wastewater treatment plant in the amount of $19,100. I have a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on this? Council Pelkman.
I just find it really perplexing that we've spent so many millions of dollars on our wastewater treatment plant, and it says the electrical service is from when the plant was built and is showing age. From what I understand, it's a very old plant, so I don't understand why this has never been done in the past.
Mr. Clark.
Well, I'll take a stab and then we'll see. I think one thing that's important to note is that this plant is a fairly large, complex piece of, not even apparatus, I mean, it's a large plant. And the renovations that were done, absolutely positively, were very expensive. Some elements of the electrical component of the plant were looked at as part of that bid work and part of that overall project. What we've also seen, and I think what's really been spawned in this, we did have some fairly severe weather that actually had a lightning strike, and it damaged elements of the electrical system. I think during the review of those electrical elements, we looked at the ones that were new, we looked at the ones that were damaged as part of the lightning strike, and as part of due diligence, they looked at other components that had not been part of the original construction. I wouldn't say we did not receive a 100% brand-new plant. We probably changed out 30% is probably a fairer number. So this is actually, when they came in to look at the damage caused by the lightning strike, they found other things that we should look at and really study to make sure we can improve it. So this is not, in my mind, money that we've re-spent. This is money that we're spending in an area where we didn't know we had issues. And now we are looking to make sure that we can resolve those issues. More so by the lightning strike, kind of gave us an opportunity to go in and take a look at things that we would not perhaps otherwise have looked at until they failed.
Okay, and just to clarify, I'm definitely and fully in support of making sure that we don't have any further failures with the electrical down there. So I do want to do this. I was just kind of surprised that some of it was still original to the plant, given the work we've done so far. But I definitely would be in support of this.
Thank you, Councilor. Any other questions? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Councilor Peliquin,
Yes.
Councilor Vandal,
Yes.
Councilor Carrasco,
Yes.
Councilor Clements,
Yes.
Councilor Langevin,
Yes.
Councilor Manna,
Yes.
Councilor Moriarty,
Yes.
Councilor Nicola,
Yes.
8 yes.
Thank you. Motion passes. Number 14, vote to confirm the town manager's signature for application of the stormwater management grant through the CIC grant application and submit to council for ratification.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Councilor Nicole?
Thank you. Unfortunately, I was not able to attend the meeting the other night, so if this is something that was explained, please forgive me. In reviewing this, it says that what this grant would probably, I gather, it's for is to train us on a number of different things. Now, I'm just curious. It seems to me a lot of the stuff we already do. Am I wrong?
Actually, she came out tonight, so I'd like to have the DPW director kind of go through what this grant does for us.
Hello.
Hi.
A lot of the stuff we do. Some of the stuff is updating, is methods and protocols on how to do it better, and give us training on how to do it better, and make us consistent. Also give us tools to use, because part of this is a tablet that we're getting that will standardize and will have tools to be able to do inspections, which is new regulations that are coming down very soon. So they're kind of preparing us for what's coming in the future. It also standardizing between us and all the other community towns in the area that are part of this grant, which I think there's like 20 of us, to have very consistent the way we do things. So one thing, with our water systems and our wastewater systems, we're kind of all separated, but in our stormwater, once it gets into our rivers, we're very connected. So if we see something coming down the river that's from upstream, this actually gives us the ability to say, hey, we see this, where is it coming from? It's a multifaceted stormwater grant, so we get to pick and choose which pieces we need. Do we need new SPCC plans? Do we need more training here? Do we need to have some community outreach done? There's a community outreach portion. It gives us all the background tools for that and the baseline training for what we need to do for inspections.
Thank you. That was going to be my follow-up question, because I didn't want us to become redundant on some of this if we can use the money for things that we really need as opposed to things that we already know. Great.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All set, Counsel?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Counsel Clements.
Thanks. I just want to be clear. So according to this, the 2013-2014 fiscal year, for instance, that was 2,800 each community put into this project, into this plan, this grant application, through you to the town manager, I guess, or
Actually,
through you to...
I'll defer to,
I mean, it's a small investment. I believe we discussed this once at a meeting.
Last year is what they went in for a certain amount of funding to bring everybody up to the same level to get the tablets and everything and expand their thing. And what happened was they only got a portion of the grant funding. When they went back to look to see what they could cut, they decided that it would actually be better if everybody could just contribute a small amount and then be able to do the whole project. So it was $2,800 for last year, very small for the $300,000 worth of work that they, of training and background and assistance that we actually can tap into and use what we need.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Counselor Vandal,
Yes.
Counselor Carrasco,
Yes.
Counselor Clements,
Yes.
Counselor Langevin,
Yes.
Counselor Manna,
Yes.
Counselor Moriarty,
Yes.
Counselor Nicola,
Yes.
Counselor Peliquin.
Yes.
8 yes.
Thank you. Motion passes. Agenda item number 15, Councilors Forum. This evening, I will start with Councilor Peliquin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A couple of things. First of all, I received a complaint from a resident this evening that our website, the section of our website with the town council meeting minutes has not been updated since June 10th of last year, or maybe it was June 10th of this year, but either way, it's been several months. So I don't know if we could get those minutes online for people who are interested in reading them. That would be great. The other thing was, it was really great to see police out in the neighborhoods on Halloween night. I saw an auxiliary police officer walking up and down the street. I have a very highly trafficked neighborhood, and there was lots of kids, and it was really nice to see the police out making sure that everybody was safe. So thank you for everybody who helped out with that. And Halloween was great. Thanks for coming to my house and taking books. There were so many great kids in Southbridge, and it's so wonderful to see them all on Halloween. It's why it's my favorite holiday. So thanks for trick-or-treating with your kids. It was fun. And that's it for me.
Thank you. Councilor Nicola.
Thank you. I don't have anything, including I didn't have one trick-or-treater. You guys are not adventurous enough. I don't know. But anyway, I don't have anything else. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Moriarty.
I have a few, excuse me, I have a few things. The first of which is, I guess, more or less a disclaimer that I didn't offer at the last meeting, and apparently I should have, because it's caused a little bit of a stir, it seems. So a few weeks ago, apparently not, I know the newspaper circulation is not what it used to be, and it was in the newspaper, but beyond that, I didn't mention it up here because it wasn't done to try and pat myself on the back or anything like that. But as part of a fundraising effort, Councilor Carrasco helped shave my head. Thank you. So that was done as part of a fundraising effort for American Cancer Society. Since then, however, at CVS, through text message, at school, in a handful of different ways, myself and or others in my family have been approached or questioned as to my health condition. So even though I sound lousy because I've been under the weather, coincidentally enough, for the last week or so, I'm fine, knock on wood. So that's not an issue. But apparently I needed to kind of clarify that for some folks. So I just wanted to put that out there. In a similar note, excuse me, sorry about that. So on a similar note, just wanted to thank the town clerk's office for spearheading a surprise little effort when I stopped by this past Thursday to pick up my council packet. The town clerk had waved me down and handed me $80 that was raised through a dress down day here at Town Hall the week of the World Series, and that money was going to be given towards to cancer in some form or another, and she asked me to donate that to the American Cancer Society, so that's already been done. So I wanted to give thanks and kudos to the town clerk and all those in Town Hall that took part in that activity. I wasn't expecting it, and I was certainly pleased to see that. So, and I'll skip to the next part because it's also, I suppose, good news. And I don't have a whole lot of information on this as yet. However, I was notified just the other day that apparently the Pop Warner cheering squads, or one of them, is poised to possibly be making it to a national competition. But in order to do so, assuming they qualify, they need to raise about $14,000 by the 21st of this month, which is obviously a good chunk of change. So I asked for some more information, and unfortunately I don't have much in terms of what they're doing or what efforts they have. I'm assuming they'll do some tag days or things like that. But if you're interested in helping out in some way, whether it's donating goods and services that they can raffle off or something, I guess, I don't know, just reach out to somebody from Pop Warner on that. And then lastly, just as a note, Councilor Langevin, Chairman Langevin mentioned earlier what Harrington does as far as Veterans Day, and Charlton Street School has an event coming up on Friday. Just as a note, a reminder, I guess, the town itself doesn't really have a town-wide Veterans Day celebration. This was something that last year, just after Veterans Day, I don't know about others, but I had received several calls and emails and such from people that were upset about that. And I had mentioned something at I think the subsequent council meeting and such, and I've talked to our veterans agent, Mike Trombley, a couple times about it, including just over this past summer. But more or less, the version I understand is the Veterans Council, each kind of veterans group does its own thing on Veterans Day, so the town itself doesn't have a parade per se. So I just want people to know that ahead of time, that not be prepared for any sort of parade itself. Obviously, you can still honor and thank veterans, obviously, but the town itself doesn't have anything. And for those who are disappointed in that, that's something, I guess, not to push it onto anyone, but I would think that's something you'd want to talk to the Veterans Council or your respective group, the Marine Corps detachments and the VFW and such like that, if that's something that people are actually interested in doing. I know a lot of those sort of events are waning in recent years, and there's not as much activity and enrollment with the younger veterans and such. So that's really all I have tonight. Thank you. And yes, we do have a big Memorial Day parade and remembrances, but as far as Veterans Day itself, honoring those who've served and fortunately for themselves did not pay that ultimate sacrifice, there's other activities, but there's not a town-wide event for that. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Carrasco.
I just received a phone call today in regards to speeding and driving skills. Again, I think we've mentioned it all summer. Again, just a message to the citizens, please be cautious. The roads are getting dark, kids are still out, people are still out. Unfortunately, not everybody that's out is wearing bright clothing. Just be careful, slow down, and just be careful. This is our city. We don't want anybody getting hurt. So that's all I have for today.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Clements?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just have one thing this evening, and that would be to once again applaud Otto Prohaska and his determination and vision to promote international business relations here in Southbridge and in the Worcester County area. Many of you may have seen the previous meetings where we had the Chinese delegation here. They were around for over 2 weeks, and they culminated with a wonderful program reception at the Arts Center on Friday evening. And again, it was really nice to see that there were local businesses who had nothing really to gain out of this, but who were very generous in supporting this gala to show hospitality to these guests here of our community. And Otto had, as I said, some great vision to bring them, and with any luck, we will have, you know, some other business maybe coming our way, rather than going the opposite way all the time. From my interactions with those members who did attend that gala, they were very happy with our town, our community, the warm welcome that they received, and they very much enjoyed staying at our wonderful hotel and conference center that we should all be very proud of. If you have never been there, you should take a moment, even just to walk into the lobby. It's a beautiful facility, and they are always very supportive of endeavors that are going on here in town also. So kudos to Otto and the group that helped facilitate that, and I feel honored to have been part of that, and you know, I just think it's a wonderful thing, and hopefully in the future we'll have more like that. People like Dick Whitney, who bring his people in, and others who promote our community, not just as little old Southbridge that was, but really Southbridge that is and can be so much more. So I just thank him for all his efforts. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Manna.
Thank you. A couple things tonight. First, I'd like to make an announcement. Christmas is coming, and the geese are getting fat. We will be meeting at Rudy's again next Saturday, November 9th at 9 a.m. We do need muscles, and we need people to help finish painting and doing some minor repairs and whatnot to some of the ornaments. We are going to start moving some things down to the common. So if you're interested, please contact myself, 774-230-0156, or Councilor Clements at 508-764-7642 for more information on that. Second, going around town again this weekend, I noticed lots of garbage out, bulk garbage at that too. And I just want to remind the residents that garbage is not supposed to be put out over the weekends unless it's a Sunday and it's going to be picked up on a Monday. Bulk waste is picked up on Tuesday, and for more information on that, you can contact your health department, Eric Jacobson. He'll be more than happy to help you with that. And finally, I would like to wish Pat Woodruff well. She resigned from the school committee. I was very sad to hear that. She was going into her 9th year, I believe, on the school committee. I did have some comments, but I think that they're better reserved for the school committee. I think I'll direct them more towards the school committee. I would like to say, however, though, if you're a resident and you're thinking about running for election for either the school committee or the town council, the only requirement to run for election is to be a registered voter of Southbridge. That is so stated in our charter. To be on the school committee, you do not have to have your children attend Southbridge Public Schools. You do not have to have children to be elected to the Southbridge Town Council, to pull papers. You do not have to work in Southbridge. All you have to do is live in Southbridge and be a registered voter, and that's it. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Vandal.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through you to the town manager. Word on the street is that the landfill isn't going to last as long as was projected. Could you give us an explanation? I don't want it this evening. I don't want to put you on the spot. But, you know, in our packet, maybe have a subcommittee on it and see why is not going to last as long as was projected.
We do have a presentation that will be before council.
Oh,
That's
great.
scheduled to come up within the next 30 days,
Do we
I think.
still hire Camp Dresser and McGee?
Actually, we're using tie and bond.
So Camp Dresser and McGee are gone?
We're not using them for this project, no.
Because they're the ones
They
that
did the
gave us
original work.
told us it's good for 30 years and plus or whatever. Okay? Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Moving on. Agenda item number 16, discuss the next meeting date, which will be Monday, November 18th, 2013, 7 o'clock in the council chambers. And on that, 17, vote to enter executive session to discuss potential litigations pertaining to sale of the town properties according to Mass General Laws, Chapter 39, Section 23B.
So moved.
Second.
Counselor?
And could we include the adjournment within that motion so that we don't have to come back out here to do the adjournment? Generally, we adjourn in executive session. So
Absolutely,
if
Counselor.
we can,
Absolutely. I don't think anyone's going to oppose to that. Roll call, please.
Counselor Carrasco?
Yes.
Counselor Clements?
yes?
Counselor Landriman?
Yes.
Counselor Manna?
Yes.
Counselor Moriarty?
Yes.
Counselor Nicola?
Yes.
Counselor Peliquin?
Yes.
Counselor Vandal?
Yes.
8 yes.
Thank you. Everyone have a good evening.